They are judges of the International Court of Justice. I am Samunda Jabini, a human rights defender. I hail from the Samaka tribal people in Suriname. Our country is a beautiful green gem located in the north of Brazil and part of one of the oldest archaeological formations in the world, the Guyana Shield. Suriname is also known as the greenest country in the world, with over 90% of our country covered in the Amazon forest. Surinamese people are very proud of this status. The indigenous and the tribal people of Suriname are an integral part of the forest. Who we are as a people is undistinguishably linked with our environment. I have seen this interconnectedness being threatened so many times in my lifetime, not to mention the threats that our ancestors witnessed and experienced. The injustices that the indigenous peoples and the tribal peoples in Suriname are experiencing now are related to the extraction industry. The government of Suriname has been giving out mining and logging concessions in our territories without consulting with us first. And despite the indigenous and the tribal peoples called the Samaka and the Lukuna Kalinyas of Suriname submitting complaints and winning cases against the government of Suriname at the Inter-American Court of Human Rights, the government still fails to recognize the collective tenure rights of the indigenous and tribal peoples of Suriname. These actions and inactions have been worsened the impact of climate change on our communities. The drought has learned to overstay its welcome and takes our rivers, our creeks, and our drinking water sources with it. It burns our crops, so our food security is under pressure. And when the rainy season finally arrives, it will be the most intense it can be. Me and my colleagues, we were in the community when the flood came, and we saw how quick it goes. We have maybe experienced rain for 3 days straight, rain and rain and rain, and we saw the water rising within a few hours. We contribute less to nothing to carbon emissions, but we are the first ones to experience this impact of climate change. Honorable judges of the International Court of Justice, I refer to myself as a human rights defender because tenure security and climate justice are human rights. I am a third-generation human rights defender hailing from the Surinamese Amazon forest. I don't want my future sons and daughters to fight for the same things their ancestors have been fighting for. Hear our plight and hold our governments accountable to recognize the urgency of the legal rights of the indigenous and tribal peoples on our ancestral lands as a cornerstone of climate justice. The time for action is now, and every day of delay worsens our predicament. Dear judges, will you hear our call?